So we're getting straight into this tutorial, and the first item I'll be showing you is my applicator brush, the L'oreal HiColor in the color Magenta, 30 volume developer, some got2b glue spray, and some spritz spray. So first I'm going to just start off with the wig. It is fully dry, detangled, all of those things, and I'm just going to take it off the wig head, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to spray the closure with the got2b and the spritz. This is definitely gonna help for your dye not to penetrate the closure, and I'm just setting it like this for it to dry. Right here I am opening the packaging on the opposite end just because it's easier to take it out this way. You know, I saw a couple of videos of people and they said that they were struggling to, you know, squeeze out all the stuff from the top, from the regular nozzle that they give you. So I just squeezed it out from the end into the BW2 container that I had that I was no longer using. And I used about 3 or 4 packets of this L'Oreal HiColor to really fill it in. And as y'all can see, like, I'm squeezing it. I'm getting every little drop because I want to get my money's worth too. You know, I do not waste no products, all right? Period. So you want to squeeze that out. So here's it. And now I'm going to add in about 1.5 ounces of developer for every pack that I had used. That was my like measurement. You want to have it like a pretty thick consistency, and I'm just stirring it right here in the bowl till it is stirred well. So here you guys can see the consistency. It's not runny, it's not really watery, it's not super thick, but it's not falling down either. So now we're gonna get straight into coloring the hair. This can get very messy, so make sure you have gloves on, you're protecting your hands and such, because this, like I said, can get very messy. I wish I covered my entire wig head because eventually I got some, you know, dye on the bottom of my wig head because I didn't cover that area, so I should have used a plastic bag. So if you don't want any dye to get on your wig head, you want to cover it. So there's no specific method. I'm just trying to cover every single strand of hair. Every single strand. I'm going from tip to root, and I am covering every bit of hair. I advise to go in small sections. I felt like this was pretty, you know, this was a decent size. You know, if you don't really have time or something like that, like, honestly, this is not a method for you if you don't have time, to be honest, because you really have to cover every strand or the hair color is gonna come out very like choppy. Some parts will come out black, some won't. So this is something you want to do if you definitely have time to dedicate to it. And right here I'm just combing through all the hair because I want to make sure each strand is covered, as I said before. And we're gonna just continue this process till we get up to the closure, where I'm going to be combing and adding in the color until I get to the top, and then I'm going to show you guys how I go about doing the closure. So now we've officially reached the top of the hair and we got to the closure, and I'm gonna be sectioning it off in very small sections in order to really get every single part of the closure, as you can see. And I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna part it, and I'm gonna put some of the dye on the root area, and I'm gonna continue to section, do the roots, section, do the roots, and then when I have like a good amount of hair that I did the roots for, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to do all of the ends together for that section that was done. And you guys are gonna see me do that part. But as you can see right now, I'm doing the roots. And I just wanted to take a moment to stop and say, wow, those knots look really good. I bleached them, baby. You know I be trying to do a little thing. Make sure you guys tune in to the updated bleaching tutorial so that you guys can see how I went ahead and I bleached the knots of this wig. So right here, as you can see, I did a good amount of hair that I had did the roots, and now I'm just going in and doing the ends of that entire section all together. So here we are, basically at the end of, you know, showing you guys how I applied the dye on the hair. Everything is completely covered, and I let it sit for about 2 hours, and I rinsed it out, and this is the color that I got. This was way brighter than I wanted it to be, so I'm actually gonna go ahead and I'm gonna watercolor it now with a couple of colors that I received in some like Adore dye. Because I wanted it to be more burgundy, like a little bit more purple undertones. It's like very much so red. So I filled up my pot with hot water. I'm using the Burgundy Envy color and also Violet Gem in an Adore permanent dye, and I'm gonna just go ahead and I'm gonna mix everything all up in the pot. I know it's much better to use like a bin or something of that nature, but I didn't have that. So sometimes you just got to use your house tools and just make sure you really clean your items really well after you are done. I promise you it won't get in your food or any of that stuff. Just make sure you clean off your household utensils if you're going to be using something like that to dye your hair. So now that I've added in the two colors, I'm just going to go ahead and just, you know, dunk the wig in. Like, we gonna dunk the wig in, and we're gonna try to get as much color on it as possible. Gonna run my fingers through the hair over and over and over until we get a, you know, all the strands fully saturated. And you want to make sure you try to get every single part of the hair as you can. So now that I finished soaking the hair, right now you guys just see me rinsing it out, and you want to rinse it out until the water runs clear, which I'm not going to show you guys all of it, but it does take some time to rinse out the wig till that water is going to run clear. And I'm going to go ahead and shampoo and condition the hair and come back and just show you all the end result. So this is now the color. As you guys can see, the watercolor definitely gave it a darker undertone. It is not as bright anymore. It is looking more of a burgundy, like a wine red, as opposed to the like hot red that it looked in the previous clip. So this is the hair before I go ahead and I style it, but this is how I go about coloring the hair, and I hope you guys found this tutorial helpful. Bye bye.